Did you know that you can listen to most of your favorite Wolverine radio interviews on our website?
Awesome. That's great.
Simply go to wolverine-radio.com and click on the podcast section. It's that easy. Local news, local sports, local people. Wolverine Radio.
So in the studio right now, we have Mr. TODD BABBIT, who is the first selectman here in the town of Griswold. Good morning, Todd. How are you?
Good morning. Good. How are you?
Maybe I should try that again. I should probably turn your microphone on. All right. So welcome on in. Huh?
Thank you.
That helps to have the mic on.
So a lot of things going on, as always, in the town of Griswold. But one of the things that I want to start out with is you've been an employee of the town for quite some time. So a lot of people that don't know you, they know you now, but you have quite a history with the town and public service. And can we go through that a little bit?
Sure.
Like, where did it start?
Well, I think we started back in the late 80s. I joined the fire company after I graduated school. And then I've been with the town for about 26 years. Started at Public Works years ago as a mechanic, worked my way up through to road foreman and then road superintendent or Public Works director. And then decided to run for first selectman. Was successful with that and kind of got out of the fire company because it's too much to do everything.
Now, are you still doing that and Public Works?
I oversee Public Works. Right now it's 15 hours a week as more of the financial oversight and the big projects.
Gotcha. So now to run for first selectman, when did you first think, I'm going to do this and I could win?
I've thought about it for a few years, and the last November, obviously for that election, probably August, September, I thought seriously about doing it and decided to move forward with that.
Gotcha. And are you happy with the decision?
I am.
Are you?
I am.
Is it something that you'd be seeking re-election with, or are you going to say, I did it and I had enough of this? And
I don't know. We're not quite a year into it, so let's give it another 6 months and see what happens.
Yeah.
But, so far, everything's going very well. It seems it's busy. There's a lot going on, a lot of activity in Griswold.
Well, there always is, pretty much. Let's talk about up on Route 164. There's that project that's going in. Here's what I know, or what I think I know, is it's going to be an assisted living facility.
There's three projects on 164. There's one out by the golf course, which is Heritage River Village, and they have purchased their property. They're doing, my understanding is, some redesign work, but they have a multi-use complex. They have some housing. They have some assisted living, dementia-type care facility, and then some commercial space in the front. We have a second facility for assisted living that got approval, and I believe their plans will be coming in the next few weeks to be filed. That's in the area of Petromax, and I believe
that's going to be another assisted living facility?
It is.
Why did I hear it was going to be a restaurant?
There is supposed to be a chain restaurant coming along with that to be in front of the facility. That's in excess of 100 units there. And then the third project that got approval is Dakota Properties, the old Haven Healthcare convalescent home. They've proposed 144 units of housing. So
now that's isn't that one that's going to have like a walkway or proposed walkway to the school?
Yes, that was. They came in under a different program of a state statute, 8-20G, which basically says they can come in here and do what they want to do, modify some zoning to meet their specific needs to get this in. And the town can't really make a lot of requirements unless they're for public safety or fire protection, things like that. And that was one of the things we proposed with the kids that are going to be potentially in those housing
units
over
there. Yeah,
they would be walking distance to the school. They wouldn't be bused, so we requested a sidewalk from their facility to the school to connect.
Now, is there going to be are there going to be some retail over there on 164 as well?
Only
Heritage Village?
Only Heritage River Village. They will have some commercial space in the front, is what they've designed.
Are they looking at any big national things over there? I don't know. I mean,
we haven't heard anything
they
specific.
Shared with you, or?
Yeah, we haven't heard anything specific as far as going in there or committing to it at this point. They haven't come in a few weeks to talk to us, and I think they're marketing that stuff now, trying to get tenants.
Mm-hmm. So I think one of the big things is it's going to create jobs.
Yes, it will.
So out of all three projects, I mean, how many jobs do you think that it should create for the town?
Well, I don't think the second assisted living by Petromax has given us any numbers. I think Heritage River said, 300 jobs, 200 jobs. I think it depends on exactly what their end product is, how they end up marketing, who they ended up getting. So, we'll get an update as things move along a little further, I'm sure.
Gotcha. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I want to talk about roads.
Okay.
What's going on here in the town of Griswold, and what's getting paved and what's not, or whatever. We'll talk about it in a minute with Todd Babbitt right here on Wolverine Radio.
You are ready to buy a home. Shouldn't your mortgage help you put down roots? Whether you are buying your first home or planning a move or thinking of refinancing, Jewett City Savings Bank is your bank for a range of mortgage programs, including VA and FHA loans. Our team of experienced mortgage professionals are ready to help find the solution that works for you and your budget. To find out more or to apply online, visit our website, jcsbank.com. Your life, your bank, Jewett City Savings Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
The people in Eastern Connecticut and Rhode Island thought it was closed and gone forever. Iconic for weddings and special gatherings. Great entertainment on the weekends. It was legend. But now, it's back. The Tamarack Lodge is back, and it's better and more exciting than ever. The legend of the Tamarack Lodge continues on with great weekly dinner specials as well as live bands on the weekends. Make sure that you check TamarackLodgeCT.com for updates as well as their Facebook page. Check out their menu at TamarackLodgeCT.com or check out their Facebook page. New owners John and Valerie Longo want to welcome you back to the Tamarack Lodge, 10 Rod Road, Voluntown, Connecticut. The legend continues, but the legends only do so because of you that have loved the Tamarack Lodge for many years. Hope to see you soon.
I'm going to tell you a story. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Once upon a time, my neighbor took some stuff called heroin, or maybe something else called fentanyl, but it killed her. The end. She was the best neighbor you could ever have. I can only imagine how her 12-year-old daughter feels. This is a story that is told more and more every single day. People that are addicted to opioids are just like you and I. It's your neighbor, it's your uncle, or even your mother. Good people that have gotten sick and they are dying. This story can change. Prescription drug abuse is a serious public health issue that can be faced effectively with the right resources and education. Don't let opioids have the last word. I can change the script. You can change the script. We can change the script.
For additional resources, go to www.drugfreeconnecticut.org. This message brought to you by Griswold Pride, Putnam Pride, and United Services.
And good morning. Welcome back to Wolverine Radio, where we are all about local news, local sports, and local people. And we are having a conversation so far this morning right now with Griswold First Selectman Todd Babbitt. And good morning once again, Todd.
Good morning.
Al, good morning. Al's here, sleeping, but he's there.
Good morning there, Michael.
You all right, Al?
Yes, I am.
You sure? Todd, do you ever watch the old Saturday Night Lives?
Yeah.
No. I mean, David Letterman. Did you ever watch David Letterman?
Once in a while. Yep,
he would have these characters and stuff on.
Yep.
They had one Larry Bud Melman. Do you remember Larry Bud Melman? YouTube it sometime or whatever. Al's our Larry Bud Melman.
Okay, I'll check it out.
He's our Larry Bud Melman. So, all right, let's talk about roads.
Yep.
We have a question, actually, that was sent to me. I'm just going to go ahead and read it out to you. I know it's a state road, but can you ask Todd if he knows when they are going to pave 201 East Main Street over by UCFS?
Okay. We talked last week, myself, with Eversource Gas. They're supposed to be scheduling a meeting. I'm assuming it's going to be either this week or next week with DOT. DOT has requirements. When you open a road, it has to sit for a period of time and settle before they'll let you do a permanent repair. So there's supposed to be an on-site meeting with DOT to discuss how far they're willing to let them mill and repave this year. What they think is sat long enough to settle to meet their requirements. So that'll be determined. That section of road is supposed to be milled and paved this year. However, some of that, especially the stuff they're working on currently right now, will probably sit over the winter and be done in the spring.
Okay. Another road that has actually been kind of drugged through social media with a bunch of people that were, complaining about it is Norman Road. Now, I know myself traveling on Norman Road, that's a pretty rough road.
It is
to travel on.
We've been deferring doing work there. We have 2 bridges that are out under bid right now for replacement. Bids open on the 25th of this month for Norman Road and Sheldon Road bridges. Those projects are both slated to start in the March-April timeframe of next year, and at that point the road will be closed, so that's when the town will go in, update all the drainage on the Norman Road section from the highway to 201. Obviously, with the road closed, it makes it a lot easier for us, a lot quicker, a lot less dangerous with the crews out there because that is narrow. It'll be widened. It'll be having improved drainage and repaved. And it's also a little cost savings for us if we can schedule that repaving with the bridge project. The contractor comes in, does the whole thing. We pay our portion. The bridge project pays theirs through the state, and we save a little money too.
What about Pleasant View? Now that's a road that I know is really, really bumpy and has been for some time. And then if you could also follow up with that condo project, that what's happening over there, or when that's going to be completed. Because I'll tell you, when I was a kid, and we're close to the same age, you and I.
Yep.
But when I was a kid, they had four apartments there at one time.
Yes.
They got torn down, and then they were supposedly going to be condos. And then there was a sign that was put up that said, coming soon, Jewett City Condos or whatever. It was up there for 27 years.
It was up there for a while.
And now all of a sudden, something's happening.
Let's start with the road. Obviously, the road has some rough spots. Again, that's going to be, an issue where we had the gas line run through on Pleasant View to Ann Street to go to the school complex. When Eversource is running these lines for residential hookup, they have a 3-year window of tie-in for residents. So they're going to maintain those areas. The town will monitor that. And after that 3-year period, some of the roads, we've made an agreement where they're going to mill and repave a portion of the road, the whole road. In some cases, the road needs to totally be reconstructed or redone. So we're going to, we've put a value on what their repairs would be. They would give the town that money. We would add to it and redo the whole road. Pleasant View, Ashland Street are both in that situation. So as we close out their 3 years.
I'm glad you mentioned Ashland.
Yep, they're both in that same situation. I want to go back to Norman Road on one item if we could.
Yeah.
There is some drainage on Norman Road currently that we're seeing some problems with. And it's been going on for a couple weeks. The farm on Norman Road has a manure storage area, and with these heavy rains we've had, they've overexceeded their capacity, and it's gone down the road. And we now have some plugged drainage at the bottom of the hill. They have some drainage that comes out of their field and comes into the road, and we had to do some excavation recently to try to get things to move along. And I think some people were kind of unhappy with what they saw there, but we really didn't have a choice. The farm has a pipe that goes into our drainage, and with everything coming down the road, it's plugged it. So we're in the process of having a contractor come out, which we have to schedule. It's a specialized contractor to go in there and high pressure blow out that pipe with water and air.
Is that due to the heavy rains that we had?
Yeah, and they overflowed their capacity of their storage containment that they have on their site at the farm.
So it's not a common occurrence.
It's not a common thing, but that's kind of why you see the standing water we've had in the road with the heavy rains. It can't go out, and we want to be cautious about releasing what's blocking those pipes into the river also. So we have to try to wait till the water level in the basins goes down enough where we can get that material to go into the basins and retrieve what we can. We don't want to create a bigger problem with fecal matter in the water, things like that. We're trying to do it on a schedule that allows us to do the best we can with it.
One more thing about roads. What exactly how long are they going to be on 138 on the bridge overpass there?
Their tentative date was to be done by the end of October. That's the lane they're doing now and repaving. So DOT construction ends November 15th, typically year after year. So they would have to get it done and sealed up before that date.
Why is that taking so long? Because it's a bridge? Or?
There's a lot of deck repairs there, and there's a lot of sidewalk repairs. So they are also working underneath the bridge, doing some sandblasting, painting on night operations, and it's a fairly big job. There was a lot of repair to do there, a lot of square footage.
Well, one thing that I'm not ashamed to say is I'm pretty ignorant when it comes to how much an actual road costs to fix. And for example, how much does it cost? This is just a general question. How much does it cost a town to pave quarter-mile road?
It's easier if we break it down by the mile.
Okay.
So if we're reconstructing a road, which is grinding up the asphalt, grading it, rolling it, paving it, improving the drainage that's needed, the average number we use is $250,000 per lane mile. So that's $500,000 for a mile of road.
What?
That's it.
That's a lot of money.
When we did our road study,
I had no idea it was that costly.
Yeah, we did a road study. We put a program out. We had bids that we received for a company to come in and assess all the roads. We did that back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, and it was obsolete for, after probably 15 years.
Yeah.
Nobody updated it, maintained it, so we did a new one. They also assessed sidewalks in the borough, things like that. And it came back that we needed to spend, at a minimum, $2 million a year on roads for 15 years. That's to keep your good roads good, maintaining them, crack sealing, chip sealing, repainting your center lines, which we just did a lot of that. And then, still improve and pave some new roads. The average we get on a good year is about $1 million. So we're half of what they recommended.
I don't even want to know how much it costs to redo Rood Road. That was huge.
It was expensive, but it was needed. And the nice thing is the road study kind of projects where we should be going. It grades all the roads on a scale of 1 to 100 in their condition, and it also takes into effect or into consideration, other factors, car counts per day, things like that. Mm-hmm. We have a couple roads we're doing now that we've had failure at catch basins, drainage pipes, and the pavement is minimal thickness. Our standards that we have are 3.5 inches of paving, total thickness, two layers of pavement. And years ago, when people put roads in, they built a housing development or a subdivision. They weren't monitored. They did the project, the town accepted it. Now, either we monitor or we have a third party that monitors it through the process of the whole project.
Like a quality control?
Correct. So, one road we have in town, Shoe Drive, that we're working on now, had a lot of drainage failures, so we've repaired those. We're going to be paving it. We have about 3/4 of an inch of asphalt because nobody monitored it back in the 70s, 80s. Now we monitor every one.
Got it. Eric Christensen. We're going to go right away from the roads. So he's the town's finance director. He's leaving for another position with Three Rivers. Is that correct?
No, Eastern.
He's going to Eastern. Okay. I'm assuming the job has been posted.
It's been posted. It closed. We've selected candidates. The Board of Selectmen, the chair of the Board of Finance, and the current finance director all reviewed applications. We all picked 3. We compared them. And we're interviewing the most common 3 of everybody's picks. And that'll happen on Thursday evening.
All right. So now that is going to be just in a closed-door session, I'm sure.
Correct.
Okay. And when will there be are you going to narrow the field down to 2, or are you going to pick one out of the 3?
We're going to do an initial interview and see if we can reduce it down to 1. If we only reduce it to 2, then we'll do a second round of interviews.
Because if there's one thing that I've found out in this town is that the finance director position that Eric Christensen has is vital to this town. I mean, Eric was or is pretty brilliant when it comes to numbers and moving things around and making it work.
It's a very, very important position for the town. We're in a good place with our bond rating, and just he does a great job. The good thing that we have in our favor is with the job he's moving to, he's already started. We have him on a modified schedule now.
Oh, okay.
And we're hoping to have the new candidate start on December 11th, and there'll be a 1-month period where he's going to be here working with them, showing him, how he has things set up. So there should be a good turnover.
So, and he's going to help with the budget.
He will be here to help put the budget together.
Okay. I think that's about it that I have for you today, because we've got news coming up in a couple of minutes, Todd. Grant money. What's what kind of things is the town looking to?
We actively have grants in for urban funding. That includes some money for site development for the proposed new senior center on Taylor Hill. It also includes money to extend infrastructure out 164 to the Heritage River project. That would be water and sewer. We have some potential opportunities for some other grants coming up. One of those is going to be small cities that the town is eligible for. We did get a letter from the state probably a month ago where they have recognized that the whole town now is considered a depressed community, not just certain sections of the borough. Mm-hmm. So that allows us to both now apply for small cities grant, the borough and the town.
Now, what will that money go for?
They have asked the Board of Selectmen, the Senior Center Building Committee, has asked if they could apply for the town small cities grant for their new building, proposed building. The maximum amount on that is normally about $800,000. We did meet with the Department of Housing back in July, August, and they do have some surplus money. They did indicate that it could go up to about $1.2 million. So we're going to actively pursue that. Mm-hmm. The urban grants right now are kind of on the back burner. That agenda is set by the governor, and the governor, obviously, with the fight here in town with the local proposal for the gun range, removes us from the agenda.
Oh, that's still happening too, isn't it? Yeah.
He removes us from the agenda before we get to the meetings. So we never make the agenda items as far as funding. So hopefully we got some things that are going to change coming up next month, and new governor could be our best option at this point.
All in due time.
Yes.
All right, Todd, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. All right, that was Todd Babbitt, our first selectman here in the town of Griswold, and hopefully we will have him back soon.
Griswold, Jewett City, Voluntown, and Lisbon. We are your source for local information.
I absolutely love it because I find my local news that way. I find the local weather. It's great.
Local news, local sports, local people. Wolverine Radio.